Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Oh, we have another supporters scream today. Ah! All right. Oh boy, we're talking about Microscale Linux. It's been one of those days. I seem to be finding all the dead spots in town. I was like parked, used it yesterday or the day before. I'm like, hey, I haven't been to this park in a while. Go up there. In the middle of State College, there was a park that only gets 3G with Verizon. Both the Verizon devices I had confirmed it. Right now, I came here because here I usually get really, really good signal, and right now the Jitsi is teetering again. OBS so far is good, so hopefully we will have a better stream than we had last week, but we'll kind of see what happens. And so we want to talk a little bit about Microscale Linux. I want to talk, we're going to talk peripherally about some of the things coming out from Pine, the Steam Deck, because that's kind of Microscale Linux. But mostly I want to talk about the geeky stuff that I'm doing in the van with some Microscale Linux. I did push out a van life video, owic.li/van, if you are not subscribed to that channel. That has a little bit of a summary of the build and a little bit of the goals. And over the next couple weeks, I want to start rolling out probably at least 2 videos a week on that channel. And we're going to do some content crossover, talking a little bit more of the geekier stuff on the Switch to Linux to cross-promote the Van Life channel as well. I want to get into a lot of the deeper, more technical stuff of what I have going on in those here, and then peripherally how they work with the van life stuff over there. So that's kind of what we have going on. So checking in on the, well, I guess check in with the supporters first. How's it going, Dan?
Oh, it's going okay.
All right.
I've been kind of bored out of my gourd lately, but
uh-oh, that's not good. Anything exciting? How's the weather up there? We had apparently a tornado touchdown a little bit south of us yesterday, and I parked up on top of this hill so I could watch the whole sky. I was looking for a twister, and I didn't see one.
I had that garbage last week, and then that knocked out. I was like one of the few people in the area that even had power. I think it was last Wednesday.
Well, last Thursday, we had that big storm come through for us and right after the stream. So I was like, I think I'm okay here because I was kind of parked in the woods. And then right at the end of the stream, the wind starts kicking up. I'm like, I got to get out of here. It was like it was like driving through. I don't know if you guys have ever played Life Force on the old Nintendo, right? You just defeat the heart. You got to zoom on out around all the things that are right. You got to get out there. It was like me dodging the sticks on the road going out because I was in this forest and these winds knocking all these branches onto the ground. So I get out where I am right now because there's no large quantities of trees. You can kind of
the weather this week has been just supreme.
Yeah, absolutely. Salbu, how's it going your way?
I'm doing fine. It's raining at the moment, but we need a little of that.
Yeah, we got plenty of that. It's 30 degrees C in here right now, so not too bad. The humidity is wicked high right now, though.
In my county, they have issued a flood warning for exposed areas due to the amount of rain that is coming. And in my area, we are just scratching our head and downpouring. Where?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some flash flood warnings, tornado watches, lightning storm watches, and hail warnings yesterday. It was fun. Yesterday was a fun day. I still managed to get through the day without losing power, which is good. Right now we are sitting at what? That had to be 12.9. We're at 12.3. We can't do anymore. Yeah, we're at 12.9. All right. So our power's okay tonight. Need to watch that, but we're doing okay. All right. And into the comments. Jeff, wouldn't that be using ARM Linux for your tools? Yes, using the strong ARM. All right. I thought it was Microsoft Linux there for a bit. Oh, yeah, Microsoft Linux. Yeah, Microscale Linux, Microscale. Tiny scale.
The fun part is that there actually is a Microsoft Linux.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely love this topic. Can't wait for the absolute freedom that PinePhone and Librem will have. Yeah, and they have released a new product this week, which is the Ink tablet. I'd like to see, like, the price point is still way too high for me. But I would love to see how ebooks read on that. That sounds like a fun thing. If the price point was a little bit cheaper, I might think about picking one up soon. But I think it's like $400. Well, I don't know. We'll have a look at their website. Stick with the advanced copies of A Neo and Radex. Thank you very much. 2 Pi 3Bs and unbound Pi holes. Super mini form factors and Clove Box only. There you go. Cough. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. If you are a supporter, I usually try and get the links out. It's the same link as I always have, so wherever you are a supporter, just look at last week's link, which should be on the support sites. My Arch system is not working. The hard drive is failing. I'm not sure if that's because we're in a van. Although I don't imagine if I ever drove anywhere with a hard drive on, I think that'd be certain death for the hard drive. But being as I never go anywhere with computers on.
Yeah, even laptops have a park mode. If you shake them slightly, they're supposed to park the drive.
Yeah, and these are laptop hard drives. So I think it's just because this is an old drive I pulled out of the old Apple Mini, and it was shipped out to California to TechLore, and then he mailed the drive back to me, back to State College. So this thing's been through a lot. Hasn't been on for tons and tons and tons of time, but it is actually a drive that has been through a lot. So that's the case. It started giving me failure warnings yesterday. I have a drive to replace it. Didn't get the chance to swap it over yet. And as of right now, I can't boot it. So we're working on that. Hopefully by tomorrow, because that is my media PC. But we'll see. If nothing else, I guess I'll just have to boot up a laptop or something.
At least it's the Arch PC and not the Mint.
Yeah. Well, I have enough redundancies built in here. Last night I took my laptop, put the brand new Mint 20.2 on that, and put it into full-fledged production. And so we'll have a full review on that on Real Hardware soon. That's something I've wanted to do for a little while. I finally had the time to do it last night. So we're doing. Fluffy Cloud, hello there. Room 2, greetings. Moonbase Alpha Grace, take me to your leader. I'll be moving in that general direction soon, Moonbase Alpha Grace. Mitchell, please go on. Please. Wait. Let's see. Commodore fans, greetings. My power was out 9 hours last Thursday. Ooh. No link. I assume it's the donor platform. No, it is the hard drive is failing on that computer. I can't boot it to give you the link. So we'll make sure we have that fixed soon. Hopefully tonight. That will be my project tonight. I planned on doing other things, but I guess I will be fixing a computer tonight.
I think he was referring to the link to this stream.
Yeah. There you go.
In order to find it.
It's like, no. Yeah, you have too many computers in that van already. We're done. Which is probably true. So anyway, I have some loop back for the guests. Yes, I do. I can try and plug in those headphones again. I might be able to pull it off. Let me see if I can plug in them headphones.
You have a computer in your van that's a punk that's beating up your Arch computer.
Oh, no. The Arch computer's like, no, bro. No, I am the one. I am the one. All right, let me.
I remember a time when having one computer and you were the king of the street.
Oh, gotta get in there. Sorry, bad view. Oh, it's a belly view. That's how fat I am. All right. Check.
Check.
All right. Oh, that's right. I gotta crank the volume up when I put the headphones
in.
Do
I get a check or?
Do I need to crank this up? I'm gonna crank something up. I think I cranked it down. Hold on.
Boogie.
All right, that should get rid of the loop back issues. All right. Our NSA spy is there, unless he tells me he's otherwise. Oh, okay, it's Mark. I thought you were the NSA spy hanging out with us.
He's Van FBI 49.
No. I am the FBI surveillance fan. That's what my Wi-Fi says anyway. Howdy, got here late, not looking at the RSS feed. All right. Well, greetings. Welcome. Fortunately, we have not yet started the topic yet. Greetings from Austria. Greetings, Austria. Mark, are you there yet? You're muted if you are. Hey, how's it going, Mark? Check. Whoa.
Hey,
Yeah. Sounds like you're sitting next to an air
cleaner's
conditioning.
running.
Yeah, is that an air conditioner or a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, or in the server room in the data center.
In the server room, yeah. All right.
nah, it should be.
Hey, that's better. That's better. How's it going, Mark?
How? I'm doing good.
I never tried to hop on a
I'm
live
hanging in
stream while vacuuming the floor.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I remember 5 years ago, me and my friend was exchanging a server in a data center.
Yeah.
It was my only time in the data center, and it was a strange feeling having to yell, shout to my friend who was standing 2 feet away from me.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on into our topic for today. So I want to chat about kind of microscale Linux. I think right now the company that's doing the best at all this is Pine 64. Although I'll say that I haven't found their products to be like massively amazing, but hey, at least they're making a good FOSS community effort. A+ for that. I had the Pine Tab. I found it to be not really good quality. I mean, it wasn't expensive either, but there it is right there, the Pine Tab. But it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't amazing either. But they are working on a lot of different devices. In fact, their latest device is actually an e-ink device. I don't know if I can find information on that. There we are. Let's see our devices. So we have single board computers, laptops, phones and tablets, smartwatches, computer modules, clusters, IP cameras, soldering irons, power supplies, IoT. Let's look under tablets. Well, they just have that. Somewhere in here, I don't know, maybe it's not even in their product list yet, but it was announced this week. And it's the Pine Note. That is the one. Now, I looked at this, and it is still listed, I think, if I remember correctly, it was like 400. Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, there it is. Available this year for 400 early adopters. Batch includes ERM pen and magnetic cover, later to be sold separately. I think 400, based on my experience on the Pine Tab, I think 400 is steep. I don't imagine it'll be worth 400, but it will be, see where it goes. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
A lot of these things that are really expensive that run on Linux, and I'm going to include the Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. These companies are looking to make at least a sizable amount of profit on them.
Well, let me clarify.
Because they don't have to purchase a large volume license agreement for an operating system.
Well, let me clarify. The price isn't what I have a problem with as much. The quality. The Pine Tab quality was so bad. To me, it felt like touching it wrong, it would break, and it was garbage plastic. Now, it was $100.
I hate garbage plastic.
Yeah, it was like we used to go out and you used to be able to find those knockoff. Maybe you go to Best Buy and find like an Insignia tablet, right, for $50. That's what it felt like. It did not feel like a good device. Now, maybe at 400, maybe it is going to be a much better device. The specs look decent. The fact it's e-ink is good. So maybe it will be better. I would just be personally hesitant to spend 400, knowing that the one Pine product I've purchased in the past really did not look like quality. Now, if it's really high quality, 400 is a great price. So, but they're making the effort, and this is absolutely something that they are the only ones making the effort of giving us good, solid Linux direction to, and so that in and of itself is a good thing. So yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I completely understand their profit portion. They are making things in smaller quantities. They are a little bit more expensive, but the quality to me was a huge turnoff on the Pine Tab. It really was bad quality.
Yeah, it sounds like they needed to do some more material research on it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, here's here's what it looks like, the screen. So it does look like a pretty neat device. I would love to see what ebooks look like on it, particularly doing some ebook stuff. I would love to see how that works on it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So with that though, that's kind of what Pine is up to. Any other discussion on Pine and what they're up to?
I have no idea what they're up to.
Yeah, I'm not up on Pine stuff.
I should have emailed Pizza, see if he could jump on or not. Of course, Pizza does the updates and stuff for them. You might see this video here, in fact, is Pizza Loving Nerds video on this. So he would actually have a lot more information on it and may have even seen it. I don't know yet.
They're supposed to be coming out with a Pine Note.
Yeah,
which is an engraver.
That's what this one is here. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see. 400 is a bit much to mess around with. Yeah, and it does look like it's not completely full on ready. It's just an early adopters batch, and so that in and of itself is like, that is a little steep for me personally. Pine 64 originally wanted to make Windows for the ARM computers. Rock 64, at least software available, not working, unlike Orange and other SBCs. All right. What was the tablet that Learn Linux TV just reviewed? I don't know. Does anybody follow Learn Linux TV?
Nope.
I didn't know they existed.
I'm not sure.
I don't think I've heard of it.
All right, so specs, Commodore 64, Commodore Fan 64s. Specs are always what they get. Let's see if we can find any of those. So Quartz 64 based specs include fast refresh, e-ink panel, multiple front light settings, RK3566, 4 gigs LP, DDR4 RAM, 128 gig eMMC flash. Wacom panel compatible with many EMR pens, and they offer their own. And again, with this price, you do get the pen and the magnetic cover. So it may not be as bad of a price after all. I would just want to see the quality of it first, personally. Comes with Ubuntu Touch, trust prompts for PinePhone 2004, upgrade to Ubuntu Touch coming to the PinePhone.
Yeah, Ubuntu's really working on that touch thing, for phones and tablets.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it, actually.
It's not bug-free yet, but it's more usable.
Yeah, UBports is working on that. So, let's see. Just use 2 Chrome plugins. You should use Firefox, but a bug crash, all that for beta. All right. The feed, go to YouTube channel and get the RSS feed plugin. Yes. Yeah, especially if you really are looking to follow channels, don't rely on YouTube notifications.
Yeah, my notifications are broken; they don't work at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I use a third-party RSS reader. There is an unofficial way to fetch the RSS feed. So I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels without actually having a YouTube account.
So, there you go. Yeah, there's a way to do it. So next one, of course, is the Steam Deck. So I'm not a huge gamer, but it does look like it looks like a good piece of hardware. Just looking at the pictures here, whether or not that's indicative of reality is yet to be seen. Based on Arch Linux, and they are promising the ability to upgrade it to Windows 11 and better Windows compatibility. However, with is it I think it's AMD and Valve are working together to produce better Linux drivers that they want to be able to support every Steam library game on this out of the box at 30 frames per second is what their goal is.
I can't tell you because I do have a Steam account that is running on Linux, and I have an awful lot of games in it. Steam is porting all this work also to people that have Steam on their Linux box. And they're updating Proton. A lot of games that didn't run right, we had to use a Glorious Egg Roll Edition Proton to get them to work. Now the experimental Proton that they're releasing will fix that. A lot of the games are getting updates as well. I've had 3 of them update in the last 2 days and fixed no issue bugs running the games in Linux under Proton.
Nice. Very cool. So the price points, $400 for 64 gig, comes with a carrying case. $529 is 256 gig faster storage, carrying case, and exclusive Steam Community Profile Bundle. And for $649 fastest storage, $512 gig, anti-glare etched glass, exclusive carrying case, exclusive Steam Community Bundle, and exclusive virtual keyboard theme. Okay, very interesting. So, yeah, those that are into the gaming, there is certainly an option. Now, I believe, did I hear correctly that these can be docked as well? Or not?
I think it has a port so you can connect it to a TV or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if there's any additional hardware you get with it.
I believe you can do that with like a Nintendo Wii. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't have a Wii.
No, I don't really play games at all. I mean, I still play like Warcraft 3 from 20 years ago. I mean,
But
Mark, any
I think that me and Dan are the kind of...
keep in mind the Steam Deck is a full-fledged computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an x86 computer. They advise you not to put Windows on it, but if you really want to put Windows on it, you can do that. But the hardware will be optimized for Linux.
Okay, good. Fluffy Cloud says, yes, you can attach a Wii to a TV. And I'm pretty sure that was the case. I have friends that had Wiis, or at least their friends had Wiis, and I believe they were playing some Wii on TV. I don't know.
Yeah, until you lose grip on the control. Whoa, there,
whoops.
New TV.
Yeah. No.
I have my concerns about it. I saw where they were supposedly losing money to put out the hardware, so they're operating at a loss.
Which is Steam is?
Why would they not Steam Valve for the Steam Deck? So why would they not allow, or why would they allow you to put a custom firmware on, or to use other app stores? For game stores such as Epic or whatever, if they're losing money on the hardware. I just feel like if you're losing money, you've got to make sure that you get all. Well, they don't have to, but they're going to feel the pressure to lock it down to be Steam only. I feel like at some point they're gonna lock that down. And it's
I don't know, maybe not. It
say
depends,
they're
because
not,
if
but
Valve is committed to open source, then it would be antithetical to their mission.
Correct, but I mean,
yeah, but we'll see. Who knows?
I hope they don't, but I mean, it's a concern that I have, because if they're losing money on the hardware, they've got to make that up in game sales.
Okay.
The PS5, I think, lost money for the longest time until they started producing a certain amount of them.
Yeah.
So
what worries me is also a secondary concern about the Steam Deck is, that's a great example what Dan just shared, but on the first one. But what about their Steam library is very lacking in choices of what I would call good games. Ever since Epic came around and bullied them and basically took a lot of the titles that were on Steam for many, many years, and now they're Epic exclusive. A lot of game developers and publishers signed exclusivity deals to be on the Epic Games platform, and they were paid a tremendous amount of money to do so by Epic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
And then you got Microsoft too.
So I just, if you can use other platforms, that's great. It's just Steam's library is not very compelling for me personally anymore nowadays.
Yeah, Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda. Yeah.
Bethesda.
Yeah, I don't know. Since I'm not much of a gamer, I don't know. I do like I can get behind the Steam Deck in that it is ultimately going to help Linux, and so hey, I'm down with that. And I would personally rather prefer getting things from like GOG or something that's not DRM'd, because Steam is still DRM'd. And
I've been doing that as well. I got Lutris on my machine, and I go over to GOG and purchase games from them too. But I tend to purchase older games from GOG because they're the games, you download them in 4 GB chunks. Some of them some of them are like 30, 40 gigabytes, and you only can get a couple 4 GB chunks at a time. The thing with Steam is when the game in Steam updates, it updates automatically through Steam, and you don't have to do all this figuring out, the downloading and all that of your game. When you're doing it with GOG, you gotta select maybe 2 or 3 4 GB files simultaneously. Get those. When those are done, get 4 more. And then if the game gets an update, you have to do it all over again.
Fun.
Yeah.
You don't always get a patch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's one of the things for me. It's like makes gaming.
Now, one of the biggest patches they've released in the last 24 hours is Cyberpunk got a huge patch, 1.3. It was a 35 GB download. That is a huge patch. But they did a video. The developers did a video on the patch. They fixed a lot of stuff in it, plus they added additional content.
Okay. Let's move on to the Raspberry Pis here. See if there's any comments here real quick. There's just some discussion here. Epic can go stuff it. They've been anti-Linux and anti-open source. Yeah, GOG needs an official Galaxy client for Linux to really get more people to use them. Probably. Reserving the Steam Deck as a productivity tool, as a mobile 3D workstation on the go with no games. There you go. All right. So the last one is Raspberry Pis. So I want to talk about this most practical for me. That I'm not a gamer and not necessarily always in on the bleeding edge hardware. I don't have time to tinker. I have time to work. And so for me, I like using things that are kind of production ready. And so where I got the idea of doing the Microscale Linux is kind of talking about how I have incorporated a lot of Linuxy stuff into this van build. Because as we're here, and I'm using the regular streaming computer for the streaming, absolutely, and for sure. But I have a lot of interesting peripheral systems that I've been moving towards Raspberry Pi. So I actually have 4 Raspberry Pis built into the walls of this thing. And yes, I can swap them out if they go bad, but. So I have a primary work computer. The primary computer I do my web design work on is the Raspberry Pi Manjaro. And so it runs perfectly. I have found, like, I can't think of anything I can't do over there. Maybe running Google ad accounts for people is a little bit hairy because they try and dump everything onto your system to do the processing. So I might need a laptop for that. But other than that, though, I'm using the Raspberry Pis as that. I also have a Raspberry Pi as my media center. So if I can't, for whatever reason, get this Arch system working, I just switch over to the other Raspberry Pi. It's a little bit more limited in what it can do, but hey, at least it does the media just fine. I also have my NAS. We did the full video on the NAS, and earlier this week I released the video on the ebook server as well, which is also built on top of the NAS. So now I do have the functioning ebook server, although Calibri screwed a bunch of things up. In fact, some people told me they even screwed up the desktop version as well. I have not seen the desktop version of Calibri screwed up yet, but okay, I guess so. And then I actually have a web server in this van. That is right. There is a web server in the van. So those are kind of the things that you can do with these. And I'm powering these by using a series of buck converters, or what are, step up or step down converters. In this case, I have converters that you put a 12 volt into the one side of the converter and it pushes out the voltage you need for a Raspberry Pi out the other end. And so I just put these little Raspberry Pis on toggle switches. So that's kind of what I've done as far as microscaling Linux, utilizing a lot of neat Linux applications in here. So, and it's all off-grid as well. So if you were to want to make a little off-grid safe home, you could do it quite easily. And it doesn't draw a lot of power. This computer draws a lot of power. The other stuff, not so much. So I don't know. There's some of my microscale applications. Anyone else have microscale applications?
One idea I have listening to your use of pies for this and that. One fun thing to do would be to create a small scale rack shelf of some kind, and 3D print some cases for these SPCs and make them look like a proper rack server, only
a tiny
not as
one.
wide. Yeah.
There's actually somebody actually has some server racks for Raspberry Pis. You can find them.
Yeah,
already.
I saw that.
I was looking at them, but it's like the way I have mine. Like I have two of them are attached to the wall. I actually have two of them over here are Velcroed up. So I actually mounted them using Teflon screws to the bottom of a mounting board, and then the mounting board is Velcroed to the wall. So if I need to pull them off, I just pull it off of Velcro. This is kind of fun. And then the other ones are clipped in with zip ties and stuff. So if some burglar in here, I can pull my computers off the wall and zip tie the guy up. Maybe not, but Dan, any microscale stuff on your end?
The only thing I have is micro Linux is this H320 MP3 player.
Nice. And that's Linux. What's it run?
It runs its own version.
Okay. Like, how old is it?
It's very old. It's from like 2005.
So we're talking kernel 1, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
we're
2.
talking like kernel 1, but you can tell it's got Linux in it because it's got the home directory and all that other stuff. And you can actually side load it with something called Rockbox, which is kind of like bootstrapping your phone, I guess.
Yeah.
You have it like go off the main system that it comes with and go on a completely different set of hardware. And it has the hidden files with the dot in front of them if you want to reveal that. So
yeah,
that's the only device that I have that's tiny that could run Linux. It's got a Motorola processor in it.
Okay. There you go. Mark, anything microscale on your end?
I can't think of anything right now other than my voice over IP Yelling phone that I'm sure runs Linux most likely.
I must be ahead of the curve.
Well, I would love to get a single board computer sometime. Like I say, I've just signed up for a cloud computing service, so I do my work. I remote into it, and then I just finished setting that up just now. I can have my applications. I can offload the work for my main computer that I'm using directly, and instead I've got way better hardware on the cloud workstation that's got like a Intel Xeon and whatnot. But that allows me to use. It's kind of a weird way to go about it, but it's going to allow me to use a microscale single board computer or some Raspberry Pi setup or something like that to where I can,
Yeah,
it's great if you have a purpose for it. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to run out and buy a Raspberry Pi or anything like that unless I can give it a a real purpose, or else it'll just I'll play with it and I'll throw it in the drawer, and it'll be another piece of e-waste in the future.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't necessarily have the use for them, for sure, but sometimes, like I mean, you could tinker around with putting, building a media center for a TV to, and that's really where I started with mine.
I have a full-size computer on my TV.
Okay, yeah. Well, when that dies, invest in Raspberry Pi.
When that dies, I upgrade my gaming computer and put the pieces in that and that one.
You're crushing my dreams here, Dan. You're crushing.
It's called repurposing.
Good, yeah.
It's
there's absolutely
something to be. Yeah, the repurposing is always a good thing.
It is.
Even if it does die, I got 2 other laptops I rarely use.
Yeah, I do have my old NAS system. For some reason, I cannot get the thing to boot anymore. I pulled it off to run the Raspberry Pi one, and I'm like, well, I'm going to boot this guy back on so that I can, just double check, make sure I have everything off. Dude, I can't find nothing. I cannot get that thing to boot for anything. I went back through, bought a new USB drive. I flashed the last known working backup onto it. And it's just like, it just won't go. I'm like, all right, never mind. I'll just assume I have everything. So pull the hard drive out and use it to fix my Linux, my Arch Linux up here.
Doesn't that just drive you nuts though when something goes down and you're expecting it to work? And it is. But I just don't have the time to worry about it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll auction off the piece of hardware. They do that stuff at the worst time.
Yeah, I guess if anybody wants the device, my guess is you can probably, let's see, was I able? I think I was going to try and boot into it with just the ISO that I used to reflash Linux Mint last night on my laptop. The computer there, as long as I can still get it to boot off of something, I might just be like, hey, everyone want this? It's still a decent computer. It would be really good for a NAS, or it would be really good for a little media PC to set next to your computer. It's a mini tower. Let me see if I can grab it. It's over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do for my gaming setup. I know it's not really...
All right. I got it.
I know.
I can't hear you. All right, I'm back.
I like those mini ITX cases.
There you go. So that's this guy here. So that's upside down. There you go. So this is a
that's like
Dell
a good little man.
Inspiron. It's got HDMI, VGA. I think it has front. Yeah, it has front and back audio. Well, full audio ports on the back, headphone in the front. It's got a bunch of USB on the back, Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. 2 USB 3s on the front, and an SD card reader up there, and it does have a CD-ROM drive in there as well. So nice. As long as I verify this thing still works, I'm willing to give that away to somebody. You might have to wait until I drive to your general region. I don't want to ship it, but if anybody wants that, well, let me know. I'll be heading to the Columbus, Ohio area soon.
Yeah, I guess I have to wait a few years until you get here.
Yeah. But there's that. Mitchell, thank you for the super chat at a chess tournament listening between games. Great topic. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate the super chats. Let's see. I already carry a Switch Lite to work and play on the lunch break. All right. Never heard of it. No idea what it is. I'm only supporting the channel and pestering you a lot. All right. Pester. All right. Hope you're not playing and listening at the same time. There you go. Raspberry Pi 564 gig EMC, 32 gig RAM, looking like it will be a hit. Ooh. I have not seen that, and I don't even see it on Raspberry Pi's website. So if it exists, they're not marketing it well. I'm actually on their website, and I don't see it. Let's see. I have Roblox and a few old SanDisk Sensa players. No Cloud Wallet Warriors allowed. There you go. Forgot to F search by Christian Boxdorfer. What? i5 NAS. This is, what's the processor on this? I don't know if I can find the processor on this. Oh, I don't know. It's an Inspiron 3252, though, if that helps. So I'm not sure what the processor is. It's not a particularly amazing processor, but it did work really well as a NAS. I bet it'd work really well as a media PC. Okay, send it your way. You need another NAS. Well, Moonbase, I think I will be in your general vicinity in just a couple of weeks. So, Moonbase, you're a supporter. I'll save that for you. Let me verify that it works, though. I do want to do that for you. As long as I can boot like Linux Mint off a USB drive. Yeah, we'll get it for you. There's no hard drives in it. I'm going to be pulling all the hard drives out. Sorry. You'll have to get that. All right. What do we got? We got like 20 minutes, man. We can shoot the breeze. Let me see if I can find something here real quick.
I feel like a loser.
All right. So, I did launch the Van channel. We uploaded the second video today, just a couple hours ago. We'll be doing some tech stuff there. I dropped the link in the channel TLM. Excuse me, this one is owic.li/van. I threw it on my other link shortener because I was at a Christian conference when I put it out, so did that. So you can jump on over there. Apparently, this channel is growing faster than my other ones right now because #vanlife, I guess. First video, we just did a little bit of talking head stuff. Second one, talking head / some photo and video overlaps, just kind of talking about the brief summary there. And kind of the goal is to get out. I want to work up towards maybe 2 videos a week to start, unless the channel really starts blowing away, and then I'll dedicate more time to it. But,
#vanlife needs to be a little bit integrated into all of your channels. And
yeah,
because it's literally your life.
So we are going to be doing some crossover videos where we're showing how I have the tech set, because I did a really impressive job with the tech setup in here. Not to be like patting my own self, but
you're very intelligent. You know
Tux trailer. You know, you're going to have to get a tuxedo and put it on when you make a video.
Well, no, I wanted to get a little penguin floating around. I just haven't gotten one yet, so I got to find a penguin. I'll go find one from the level 1 store, you know. But
there you go.
Yeah, you can jump on over there. Let's see, change that 5 minutes ago. And myself. Let's see. You compare when a creator uploads a video to when it shows up in the XML feed. There you go. Okay, sounds like bad storm's about to hit me, and the lights just dimmed.
Ooh.
Better save your computers, man. Save your computers. Raspberry Pi stuff is not only released by Raspberry Pi LLC. Finding the Tiny 2040. Where is that on their list? Oh, I don't know. Should I look at Canna? See if it's on Canna. What is it? CannaKit. CannaKit.com. Let's see what they have. Yeah, they don't have any of the newer Raspberry Pi things that were listed over there either. But all right, well, we have a few more minutes left. Any final weird discussions we want to have before we wrap this guy up? Or we just wrap up a little earlier too. Christian channel tonight, we will be on. I'm going to be doing a book review of this book. Stop Asking Jesus Into Your Heart. If you are interested in such things, or you've heard about that book and would like my review of it, then that will be on the Christian channel at 9 o'clock. That is an hour and 15 minutes from now, and I will post the link to that. And anybody else at this point in time, we've run out of stuff to talk about. So let me know, guys, who else wants to say something. Just chime in.
You know, it's really funny. Everybody talks about Raspberry Pis, you know, and they're like really popular, but you never hear anybody else talk about any of the offshoots or competitors. And there's a guy over in England. I forgot what his name is. Explaining Computers is his web channel, and he goes through all the alternative Raspberry Pi single board computers that are on the market as well. It's the only other place where I've even heard that there are competitors to the Raspberry Pi available.
Yeah, Eli the computer guy also does a lot with Arduinos, which aren't direct competitors, but they're close. Pine actually has single board computers as well, which I've not used before. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess Raspberry Pis though, there's a lot more accessories for them. They're, who knows? Maybe they're too mainstream to this point. Been playing with Solus Linux. It's got good potential. Anyone have thoughts on it? When's the news on? News is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I tried to run. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Solus. Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Solus.
Solus. I tried to run it earlier last week. I was going to go with it over Fedora. And I had an issue. I'm trying to think of what it was. I could not get it to connect to the internet at all, or for some reason I couldn't apply updates. I remember that I could not apply any updates for whatever reason, and it booted. No, I remember what it was. That wasn't it. That was a Manjaro thing. I need to document this stuff. So I have a history of, and I know what distros work well for me on my hardware, but I actually had an issue installing it. The installer didn't do right.
And were you running the basic one, Solus Budgie?
Yeah.
When I ran it before, I did not have any issues. Now, a long time ago, there was a problem where if you would update it in the GUI, it would kill itself. That has been long since resolved. So I like Solus in general. There's a few little odds and ends with it, but for the most part, I do like it. So if it's working for you, awesome. Go for it. But if it's not, then whatever.
The only thing to look out for with Solus, and if you're like a really, really open source guy, I'm using less and less I'm using less and less proprietary software. And Solus is becoming more and more of a draw for me. They have a limited software catalog or repository, so you have to really, unless it's there's no real good way to run.
Yeah, it is limited until you look at Elementary OS, and then you're like, wow, this has a lot of software.
Yeah, it's very true compared.
And at least Solus, they hook you up with FlatHub out of the box.
That's true. Yeah, I was gonna say
how people are still recommending Elementary as new Linux user. I can't why.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Also, Solus sounds like a distro that I should be using, given my name.
Yeah, you should. I was going to ask you your opinions on Solus.
This is really interesting. We have 23 people watching, but 34 thumbs up.
Nice. I guess there's a lot of... maybe that's just how YouTube is just throttling everything these days. I don't know. My channel is under serious throttle.
I think it's broken myself. I go to channels, like Louis Rossman that's got over 1 million subscribers, and he'll have maybe 30 people on his channel when he comes on, and there's more than that watching because of all the top chat things going on.
Yeah. YouTube is doing a lot of weird stuff, and certain channels are on YouTube's naughty list, and the naughty list channels, they get throttled. And I'm on that naughty list for some reason. I don't know.
And also, his channel, Rossman's channel, is plagued with there is some content that is which is popular. In his case, is the right to repair. All the other videos about how you repair this and that device, a few thousand views on each. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of it's just content. I'll watch I'll watch a lot of what Rossman does, except I don't watch any of his MacBoard repair videos because I don't really care. You know, and that's how some channels and some people are. You know, you might love my news, but don't care about anything else, and so news might have a higher hit than other things. That's okay. You know, I do that on some channels as well. So.
There's one video of Rossman that I watched, one review that I watched every minute. It was a few years ago when he had some 8 or 9-year-old who came in with his mother and had some problems. Yeah, and he got to use his equipment for free. And Rossman was impressed by how he approached him in asking. He wanted to tell him how he could fix or how he could research in order to. So he invited him and he used 2 hours teaching him how to use some very expensive tools. So
yeah,
it was interesting to see that this 8-year-old or 9-year-old.
Yeah, I remember that video, and that was good, and that is an encouraging video to know there are still kids out there who think. Jeffrey says masking the kitties was my unforgivable offense. No, it was actually unmasking my kitty was the unforgivable offense, actually.
Adam at IT, he does a lot of board repairs, too, over in the UK. But he does it on everything. HPs, Lenovo's.
Yeah. Rossman just happens to be specialized in Apple devices.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am on Odyssey. That might explain some of the decrease. I actually haven't been over my Odyssey channel in a while to see how it's doing. I should probably go over there, but I really haven't. Commodore Fan also says same for BitChute. BitChute and I are on a I think BitChute is garbage.
You're shooting the bits.
Well, that's the thing is, on my switch to Linux, I think in the top either 100, certainly within 200 creators. I'm close to the top 100 creators on BitChute. My Christian channel, I've successfully uploaded 2 videos in the last 3 months on there. And every video I try to upload on BitChute, and every single one of them fails. And then I email support, and then support copy and paste the same response. I have it in my inbox 5 times. They copy and paste the same support. It's the same, like, well, you should consider donating. Why would I donate to you? You can't get a basic thing working. So as far as I'm concerned, BitChute has a priority creator system that nobody is ever going to be able to succeed on BitChute who's not already in a top creator spot on BitChute, because they're throttling people except for their top creators. And so the channels that are starting in on BitChute, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell because you can't upload videos and their support will not look at it. 6 months this has been going on. In fact, I think it's been 7 or 8. I think it was in December. I stopped being able to upload videos in December. Every single video fails without exception. Minor exceptions. I've successfully uploaded 1 video a month on my Christian channel on BitChute.
Send them some ransomware.
I don't know, but BitChute to me is garbage. That's working for Switch to Linux. I'm going to keep it over there. I have about a half a mind to just completely delete it on the Christian stuff because screw them.
BitChute is very buggy. They're
a garbage team. They are a garbage grifting team. Yeah. They're like, we're going to raise money and do. They have not done a single thing. When they reached their 100% financing, they have not done a single thing that they promised. Instead, they upgraded their offices.
Yeah, they're
you don't need offices. You need to fix your crap. BitChute sucks. It's horrible.
The last thing they need is offices until they satisfy their customers.
Are you having good luck with Odyssey?
They're creators.
Yeah, Odyssey. Well, Odyssey. Every single thing I do ends up on Odyssey flawlessly. I haven't been over there in a while, but everything apparently is working. And who knows? Maybe that's why I don't have as many viewers on YouTube. Maybe everyone's watching on Odyssey. I don't know. Let me pull up the Odyssey channel, see what it looks like.
Well, they're not watching live on Odyssey, are they? Do you
no,
go live over there?
I should. I really should start streaming live to other places other than the tube, but I don't know.
It's just where the largest amount of viewers are.
Yeah,
I'm beginning to question that.
Well, it's starting to dissipate a little bit.
Okay, so I have
people are
3,000 followers on Odyssey right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and let's see.
Because you've not been on there all that long, about a year maybe? Have you been there? I don't even think it's been a full year since you came back on.
No, I got 66 views on the latest news upload, which just went up a little bit ago. So it looks like view count is not massive, but it's not horrible either. So yeah, but yeah,
it's fairly new. Give it a chance.
Yeah, it's something I should invest more time in. I should also look into streaming stuff. In fact, I think. Is it Restream? One of the multi-streaming companies reached out to me not too long ago, and I'm like, reach back out in about a month or so because my entire life is crazy. So that's kind of what happened there. So,
Tom, I always got this knack of getting on the latest, newest scheme and gig on the back end of it instead of the front end of it, and it's burned me every time. Back in 2005, in that era back there, my cousin told me, "Hey Dan, get into bitcoins. You can get 5 of them. You can get 5 of them for $20. Look where they're at today."
Yeah,
stuff like that. Every scheme that comes out, I'm on the rear end of it. I never can get into the front.
Yeah, so I posted that link there. Let's see
Awesome.
how the ebook server one do. Ebook server one got 216 views, and it's bare. I don't even think it's crossed 1,000 on YouTube yet. So
this is nice. They give you a nice layout.
Mm-hmm.
Ebook server.
It's getting better. I think one of the things I want to look at is I would like to see if I can watch Odyssey videos through Kodi, because I kind of use Kodi as kind of a central interfacing for media stuff. That's what is working on BitChute. Is the BitChute app into Kodi does work fairly well. And so, I catch BitChute videos over there, and whoever I follow that is on BitChute, I try and watch over there, through the Kodi app. But yeah, there's Dailymotion. Yeah, that's another one. There's a few. I have a DLive account. I just haven't used it. So yeah, I don't know. I need to decide exactly which direction I want to go with everything. So. All right, I think we're going to wrap this one up for here. And
I would continue on YouTube. I would definitely keep a backup like this Odyssey running.
Yeah, I mean, Odyssey's, they had their issues in the past, and they've told me that the video that I did is what fixed their problems. And they came back, emailed me back out of the blue, a few months back, and was like, "Hey, would you like to look at switching back?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." And
LBC is really up in the air.
What's that?
And their LBC is really up in the air.
Yeah, a lot of that's because of the FTC
guilty.
crap. Yeah. Oh, did they get found guilty? Such a nonsense.
But I don't know that library's ever going to be able to be back the way it was, or that they're going to last, because this really did it really cut them deep to the bone. And Eli, the computer guy, talked about it. He's very upset with Jeremy, and Eli shares some stock. He's a shareholder in the company, and he's not very happy with the library, and he pretty much deleted his. And when that happened, he said that basically because he was found guilty, from what I understand, Eli thought it was legitimate what they were doing to be found guilty on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up now. Oh, and Total West Today just shows up. Sorry, Matas, we're just wrapping up. Who you got in the chunk caddy right now?
He has a way of doing that.
All right, yeah. So we're going to wrap up here. Once again, if you want to follow along the Van Life Travels, that is there. And the Christian video tonight, we will be reviewing this book, Stop Asking Jesus Into Your Heart. If you are interested in such things, you can head on over to that channel, and that will be starting in 1 hour from now. Let me copy link address. We'll drop that one in the chat once again and do that so you guys can follow along on all those. So that, guys, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Weekly News Roundup at 9 p.m.